Digital 90s, a guiding light. Tiberius with the hackers inside. Streaming live on cyber mentoring Monday. Teaching the novices, leading the way. He's a cyber mentor, hacking through the storm with our recon. He's transforming the norm for the OSCP. He's the key. Tiberius, the legend we all want to be. With each line of code, he breaks the chains. In the cyber world where he reigns. Privilege escalation, not one but two courses. Empowering hackers with unstoppable forces. He's a cyber mentor in the virtual fight. Lighting up the network, making the future bright. For the OSCP, he's the guy. With Tiberius, we're on the winning side. Captain March, try hack me. He's on the trail. Hornswinger's weapon enemy. He never fails. Solving boxes, cracking codes with each tale. Tiberius, the hacker who will prevail. He's a cyber mentor. The hacker's dream with auto recon. He's leading the supreme for the OSCP. He's the flame Tiberius, forever etched in the Hall of Fame. In the realm of fights, he's a hero we acclaim. Tiberius, an ethical hacker with a name. Echoes in the cyberspace, loud and clear. For every aspiring hacker, he's the pioneer. He's a cyber mentor, spawning a digital beat. With auto recon, his legacy's unique. Guiding through SCP, a beacon so bright. Tiberius, the hacker's light. In the cyber realm, he's the eternal flame. Carving past the glory in the hacking game.
All right, can you hear me? I think you can. Excellent, excellent. Let's put the music on. Go. How is everybody? If you're in the UK or the US, it's a holiday weekend. I don't know if it's a holiday weekend anywhere else, but I hope everyone's having a nice long weekend. Yeah, so I don't know what we're gonna do today. We're probably gonna keep it chill. I don't know why I'm just kind of tired. I slept fine, but I don't know. Anywho, we'll do some marble racing. We will do some hacking of something on Try Hack Me, probably. How was everybody's weekend? Did everyone participate in the HarmCon in some way? Hopefully you guys did. The CTF was awesome. There was Only Feet came 29th, which is pretty damn good. I didn't do much of it because I was involved in the HarmCon in other aspects. I was doing a workshop, and but I managed to get I think close to 2,000 points on the CTF with the mission challenge, which was a awesomely complex web app that we will definitely do a Web App Wednesday, and maybe even this week, because we got 5 out of 7 flags, and I think we were so close to the 6th flag. I think I just hadn't. I don't know. I feel like we're very close to solving it. So yeah. But did anyone else participate in NahamCon? Let me know. So we've got a few people in chat, so that's always good. Oh, the other thing, yes. Can I share my screen? Let me share my screen. Here we go. This is another thing that I released at NahamCon. Tiberius.com/SQLI. An SQL injection cheat sheet. So I got like a hair that's like randomly in my face. This was released at NahamCon at in my workshop. I did an SQL injection workshop. This is now official. So this I added over the weekend, but yeah. I mean, yeah. SQL is obviously how you actually pronounce this. If you want to say it this way, you're wrong. However, if you want to say it squeal, that's okay, I guess. Squirrel is not that, but it's this, and Squirtle is that. So, yeah, there were a few different people suggesting ways to pronounce it on Twitter, and I incorporated those. We got the avoiding or true sort of mini rant there, which links to my other rants. And then we got some awesome cool stuff. Like this is, honestly, I feel like this is the most accurate and well put together cheat sheet. And obviously I'm biased because I made it, but like compared to all the other cheat sheets out there, especially where they don't go into any kind of explanation, I feel like this is pretty decent. This contains practically anything you need for doing any kind of manual enumeration or using SQLI. All right, so anything here is really cool, especially like the different functions for doing group concatenation, the different length functions, and the fact that there are sometimes two different ones and they act differently. The different substring functions, the different ways to concatenate stuff, I think's pretty good. All right, let's do a marble race. For all the early birds, let's do the marble race. Oh, hang on a minute. Sure, let's do this one. Exclamation point play in Twitch chat if you want to play in the marble race. There aren't that many people watching right now, I guess because I started quite late, but hopefully we get a few. I'll give you guys a few minutes. Significance spelled wrong. Let's have a look at this track firstly. All right, so we got like a slalomy course to start off with, and we go boosting. Okay, boosting into this thing. More slaloms. Oh, there's portals. It's gonna be a nightmare. My man. All right. This is gonna be an interesting one. Exclamation point play in chat if you want to play. Let's start a 6-second countdown. And then we'll get on to the good stuff. Unfortunately, this is Twitch only. No real way around that, unfortunately.
Thank you for following.
Who followed me? Why is it not? That is weird. I'm gonna refresh my stream manager. It's not showing who just followed. Alright, we're off. That's weird. Just my activity feed isn't showing who just followed. Oh, maybe it was on YouTube. That might be it. Alright, here's the question we always ask. Who's going to be the first to find the hole? Important question. Who is it? Oh my goodness, I think it was Crazy Gun. I think Crazy Gun found the hole first. It was close. T-Set guy, though, out in front right now. Having a good 3-day weekend. I am. Oh no, T-Set guy dies. A lot of people dying, actually. Lady the Killer is currently in the lead, apparently. No ant chipses. Alright, here we go. I followed, but my chance glitched. Interesting. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it just appeared. Very strange.
Thank you for following.
Well, it worked that time. Alright, let the world burn ant chips. Who's it going to be? Both of them kind of make it through. Ant chips. Oh, no. Let the world burn just one, I believe. Let the world let the burn world. Let the world burn. Actually, no, it's let he world burn. Unfortunately, did not get the world record. But a good time either way. Those people died. Excellent. Excellent. Alright. So. Let's try and find a hijacking box. Okay. Right. Learn. Search. I'm not sure what we're going to do today. Like I said, I'm not feeling 100%, so we're just going to keep it a chill stream, I think. What do people want to see? Do people have suggestions for boxes? You can do the WinCorp series? This is Cyber Mentoring Monday. Isn't the WinCorp series, like, very hard? Like, we do easy boxes. Trust me, if we do on Web at Wednesday, if the Naham Sec box is up on Hacking Hub, we'll do that. The mission, because the mission was awesome. It was hard. Like I think only like 10 teams solved like the final flag. Actually, maybe I should double check. The mission. Yeah, only 8 people solved. Just gonna make sure I don't dox myself here. I don't think I'm doxing myself here. Okay. So, the mission. So only 33 people solved the first flag. 33 teams. 68 solved the second one, which does make sense. This one was actually kind of tricky, but And then 27 solved the third, 27 solved the fourth, 16 solved the fifth. I was one of these 16. This was definitely tricky. We were very close to solving the sixth, but only 8 people solved that, and only somehow 9. Wait, what? Okay, this makes 0 sense. It was very linear, so the fact that 8 people solved this one, which I believe you had to solve this one to solve this one. So I'm not entirely sure how 9 people solved this. Whatever, anyway. Alright, what do we got here? Challenges. We hit Cyberlens last time. Bricks heist. Can't even remember this one. We did this one recently, didn't we? Oh yeah, I just didn't want to do it anymore. It was boring. What's dreaming? I mean, it says it's easy. The problem is we've done so many of these boxes. Where's the status? Not completed. Shall we do dreaming? This looks like it's based on The Sandman, which is a novel, and also a Netflix show. Really good. I think given the fact that it says Sandman and you've got different characters from the show and also Morpheus, who is the Sandman. I think that might be it. Let's try this one. You love this box? All right, that's good enough for me. That means it's not absolutely terrible.
Thank you for following.
Let me just open the subject. Right, try hack me. Dreaming, right? And subject. Alright, so what we need to do though is go into training. Okay. So do open VPN, --config Tiberius. Alright, cool. Do you know how to delete PHP's error messages on refresh? I have a registration form where user enters data and PHP checks the password and password confirm match. If they don't, it sends an error message, which I can't delete unless I re-enter data and click sign up, but I want it to be deleted on boot. So the problem with that is, so if I'm hearing you right, when you refresh, assuming it's like a post form, when you refresh, right, when you've made a post, so you're submitting data in the body of the request, the browser remembers that, and when you refresh, it's going to resend the post request again. And so the body's going to contain that same data, and so you're going to get the exact same error message again. But why would they Why would they need to refresh? Like, the application is literally doing what you've told it to do. You've told it to check post data whenever, and then issue an error message if the, password and password confirm don't match, right? There are some ways of doing it. There is a way to, I think, tell the browser not to send post data on refresh. But I don't know why you'd want, that's the thing, I don't know why you'd want to do that. So there are some ways in which websites do this. So let's just say, all right. So you have a request. What? Come on. You got a request with post data, right? That goes to the server. Right? And here's the server. We'll probably just minimize this section. Here we go. Right, and that sends back a response. With the error. Okay. The problem is, if you're on this response, you got the response loaded in your browser. If you now refresh this page, right? If you refresh this page, all you're doing is you're asking. Insert like a. How do I do a little curl? There we go. That's what refreshing it. Refreshing is just this process. All right. So, because this response came from this request, when you tell a browser to refresh, you're basically saying, "Hey, can you send the last request you made?" Right? That's literally what refresh means. It just means resend whatever the request you did last was. All right. Well, the request to load this page, basically. So it's just going to do this. So, what you can do. So, the easiest way of doing it is probably, let's just copy this again. So let's put this down here. We have requests with post data, right? And we have a server. So if there are errors, right, what you do is you okay, so there's a few things you do here. So you set a cookie with error message equals, and then whatever your error is, right? Okay, so your error message is there. And you also do a redirect. Redirect to whatever. I don't know. It doesn't really matter where you redirect. You probably want to redirect back to wherever you were originally going. Right? So this does two things. The browser is going to store this error message in a cookie, and then it's going to redirect. And when it does a redirect, it issues a new request. So what you have here is the browser is going to send a new request. So it's going to be a GET request to whatever, right? Because that's where it told it to redirect to. Come on. All right. And it's going to attach to this new request the cookie. Okay. And then what your server does now, right? What your server does when it gets a request that has this error message cookie in it, right? What it will do is it will extract. Maybe I should put this here. Hang on. So it extracts error message from cookie and puts it in response. Okay. Then set cookie error message to blank, basically. So unset the cookie. I guess that's probably a better word. So unset the error message cookie. All right, and you do that by blanking it, but also setting the expiration date on it. Right? And so now what happens is the response that comes back contains the error message. So response contains error message, and the cookie is deleted. So now you have the error message displayed on the page because the server was told to do it by the cookie originally, right? But now when you refresh, right, because this was a GET request, it's just going to do a regular refresh, right? It's not going to send any post data because of the redirect. So when you do a refresh, the cookie is blank, and so this doesn't happen. This extracting the error message thing doesn't happen. So you just get the regular page, and the error message will disappear. This is, by the way, how Flask does it. If you wondered about the Flask messages in Python, I think they're called Flash messages. So the idea is they're basically stored in a cookie, and they're all dependent on the cookie. This is the way that I know how to do it. There are probably other ways of doing it. This way just seems like the easiest. I have a stupid question. I was recently playing King of the Hill, and someone prevented downloading the IDRSA from the FTP server. What do you mean somebody prevented? King of the Hill is wild, though. That's the thing. I don't really like King of the Hill. Right, let's use auto recon. I'm going to assume we don't have to do dreaming.thm. We might have to. It's a pretty tough process or something so simple looking. Well, I mean, that's the issue is there's no, you're trying to track state on a protocol that has no state by default, you know? If a new tool allows you to gain SSH-like shell access from any RCE with automatic PCY creation and terminal resize, would you use it? Yeah, isn't that what Trash Puppy's making? I thought that was the idea with NetPuppy. Oh, right. Well, we have a CV identified. That's always interesting. Let's have a look at some of these scans, I guess. All right, we'll check out TCP 22 only because we want to know. Yes, we can authenticate using a public key or a password. That's useful to know. If we find a password, we can, generally speaking, authenticate using that. All right. So we have an Apache default page, apparently. Does it have credentials in it? Only because last time, there was one time we did a thing on this channel and the damn thing had credentials and it was really annoying. But it doesn't look like it. I'm not seeing any comments in this code. That's always good. Oh, here's some comments, but they're not credentials. All right. Directory busting, we have... Oh, okay, we have an application here. Pluck. Maybe we should just visit this application, I guess. Let's do that. Let's open the browser. All right. We have /app. Pluck 4713. And it goes to file dreaming. That's interesting. What happens if we just do dreaming.php? Page cannot be found. What happens if we just do Etsy password? Not found. Okay. So I mean, we got a version number here, so we should probably search for pluck. Right? So we go pluck 4713 exploit. There we go. Oh, file upload remote code execution. Lovely. So it looks like it does need authentication. So there should be a login.php apparently. Oops. There we go. Login.php. Oh, it's just a password. Okay, the password was password. Let me show you. Hang on. There. Which means chat. For the first time in an age, we get this one.
The password is password?
Hooray! I love when that one works. Alright, so we just guessed the password. It was password. If that hadn't been the password, I would have tried a few other things. Maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Potentially password 1, let me in, admin. And if those options never worked, we would have just brute forced the damn thing. Alright. So I guess we have to, we just manage files. And probably just upload a PHP file, I imagine. Let's create one. Let's just do command.php. PHP shell exec get cmd. Should be fine. Streaming cmd.php. Can we just upload this? Okay. Oh, it's .txt. Interesting. So, the question is, can we go back here? So it's putting .txt on the end of it for some reason. You're having a holiday as well? I thought you weren't UK based. Yes, it turns out some countries have the same holidays. In the US, it's Memorial Day. Okay, so this says we have to name it as .far. Alright, let's try that. So I'm just going to resend this. Send it to repeater. Rename it to .far. Let's refresh. No, that's not refresh. That's going to resend. There's cmd.far. So now can we actually do this? cmd equals id. Sleep 5. Okay, it is working. I guess I thought shell exec was supposed to echo it out, but I guess not. Alright, this is technically working. I could probably... Can I just re-upload? Let's move this to the trash can. Okay, let's just edit this again. Let's do echo shell exec. Oh, it's system, isn't it? I need system, not shell exec. That was it. System outputs everything. Alright, we're going to move cmd.php to cmd.var. There we go. Okay. So can we just do cmd equals id now? Hooray! We have command execution. So now what we can do is we can go rev shellgen. Make sure we do 1353.212 is my ncmk nod is the best for PHP shells. We need to pipe this into URL encode, which is a custom script that I apparently don't have. What? I thought it was in /bin. Interesting. Why don't I have that? Hang on a minute. Alright, I guess I need to rewrite that. But we can just copy this into Packverter. And if we want to do this, we can encode into URL encoding, which is, there we go. Next thing we need to do, nc-n vlp 4444, and then just shove this up here. And there we go. We are in.
We are in.
Okay, do we have Python? We do not. Do we have Python 3? We do. So we can use Python 3. I should actually do which bash as well. Okay, excellent. Python 3-c import pty pty.spawn, and then we do /user/bin/bash. Control Z. Look for my stty command, which is 2 commands here: stty size and std raw-echo, and then f- is 3 commands, then foreground. So basically, this background of the shell, stty size, is going to tell me the current size of my terminal in terms of rows and columns. stty raw-echo basically turns off the echoing of any input I put into the command into the interface. That's just because it's going to be echoed on the server side anyway. And foreground means, hey, bring everything back into the foreground. So bring back this backgrounded process. All right, so 44 and 172, 44 rows, 172 columns. All right, and so what I need to do now is I need to do stty on the server and say, hey, I have 44 rows, cols 172. Press enter, and then export term equals xterm -256 color. Now, if I do command Control C, my shell does not crash. What do you think about PwnCat by Caleb Stewart and John Hammond? I haven't actually used PwnCat. I have heard of it. Do web application question from now? Which is the web application one? What are you talking about? You talking about the mission? If you're talking about the mission, we'll do that when it's uploaded to Hacking Hub. Because we got quite far with the mission. We got the first 5 flags. Okay, wait. Let's CD. Actually, let's go back into Pluck because you know what? There might be a database somewhere. We could probably grep -R, -IR actually for password. That was a bad idea, apparently, because that's just grepping through all the JavaScript files as well. Okay, let's have a look. See, is there like a config file somewhere? Maybe in data? Settings? There's the settings.
Thank you for following.
There is options, so why don't we use cat data settings options? No. Okay. You know what we can do? We can do IR password in data settings. Nothing. What was there in just data? I guess we could go data inc. That's just going to be is there a database? That's the problem we need to know. Da Vinci Code? I don't think we did. I don't think I did that one. There might not be a database. Probably grep or MySQL. -I on MySQL. Pluck does not use MySQL. All right, fair enough. Okay. All right, so there's nothing in that. Let's go into opt. There we go. We've got a few things here. We can read all of these actually. So we can read get dreams. Interesting. So we should probably start some notes here. Let's open some notes. We're going to create a new vault. Notes. Dreaming. Okay. Oh, I hate this view. All right, here we go. We'll do general notes or something. I don't know. All right, so we have opt/get dreams. And that has a few things in it. So it has these credentials, which aren't actually credentials. Great. But it does give us the username and the actual database. So that's interesting. Okay. And there's also this test.py. Interesting. So we have a password of Hey Lucien in a file owned by Lucien called test. So we have this opt/test .py, which has this in it. No, okay, it doesn't have that in it. Come on. This one was owned by Death. All right. Whoops. All right. So the real question now is, hey, can we just cat Etsy password and see?
Thank you for following.
So Lucien doesn't have a user, which is interesting. But there is actually no, there isn't a Lucien user. It's there. It's hiding. All right. So can we just SU to Lucien using her password? We can. That's better. Let's get a stable shell now. I'm assuming you can probably SSH as Lucien. We can. All right, good. We're in again.
We are in.
All right, Lucien has this password. Lovely. Okay, there's a Lucien flag we can now cat. Let's cat that and grab that now. Can I do it after pulling this machine? I mean, it depends on what it's rated as. I'm looking for a note-taking app for PJPT. I was thinking Obsidian since I'm taking notes in Markdown, but I do not find if it can export these notes to PDF or not. There's probably a plugin. So what I would do is look, if you are using it, go to make sure you enable extensions and like community plugins, and then you can like search for plugins. So you have to turn on community plugins, but you should be able to search for these and see if it exports to PDF. Someone's bound to have made a PDF generator for it. You think AI will be implemented in other industries of business in a few years, making huge demand for specialists, or if it's just a tool? I don't honestly know. It's tricky. I'm not a big believer in AI, the current state of AI in the first place, so I'm probably biased. All right, let's just use sudo sudo-l. Oh, okay, we can use it notepad. Okay. Right. I mean, okay, the first thing is there's a bash history. We should probably look at their bash history first. Yeah. Lucien has a password in the bash history. So we should probably do, let's just do Linux passwords and then MySQL passwords. All right, so how this reads as a password, you basically anything after the P is the password, so you can just take that off. Oops. All right, so basically what we're seeing here, Lucien can run this file, get dreams, as death. Let's have another look. Oh, actually, it's the home death. Get dreams. Oops. Well, that's interesting. SU root. Why we can't SU as root though? Why would we be able to do that? Alright, so this is permission denied, but do you think it's probably the same file? So it's 1,539 characters, bytes, basically. So it's slightly different. It's probably very similar to this file. So what does this do? This connects to the database using a redacted password. It then selects Dreamer and Dream from the Dreams table. Executes that query, fetches all of them. It loops through the results. And then it produces a command that says echo with Dreamer plus Dream. Alright, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's see what happens when we just run it. I have a feeling I know exactly what we have to do here. But obviously we need to... Oops, crap. So first thing we need to do is select the user as death, because that is the only user we're allowed to execute this as. And then Python 3, and then this. Yes. Alright, so what we can do here, I'm presuming we can just go into the database as Lucien with their password. Show databases. Okay, can we use a library? Show tables. Dreams. Is this the... It does connect to the library. Okay, this is an easy one then. Alright, so select all from Dreams. Alright, so here's how this is going to work. It's basically these two lines here, right? Let's do some quick analysis on these two lines. So what's going to happen is the script is going to connect to the database and it's going to extract the Dreamer and the Dream. All right, so basically it's going to extract the Dreamer and the Dream as separate things, and then it's going to put them into this string, right? And then it's going to use subprocess, right? So it's going to run this as a command using subprocess, and that will echo out the Dreamer and then a plus symbol and then the Dream, which is exactly what we saw over here, right? So it echoed out Alice, a plus, and this. So the more obvious thing we just need to do is we can insert into Dreams values. And then what we want to do is we want to do RCE, right? And then all we need to do is make sure that we can, you know, this is a sub-process, so we can pretty much put anything in here as long as it executes properly. So, for example, we could put like a $ like this, right? Because technically speaking, if you do echo $ID, right? It will execute this. So what we want to do is copy user bin bash into actually we should double check if the... Let's get another SSH session up. Let's double check the temp directory. I think maybe we do dev shm. You know what, screw it. We're gonna see if we can actually write. So we're gonna copy bin user bin bash to temp Death Bash. Okay, now if we select all from dreams. Okay, we should get this. So now, hopefully, when I run this as root, let's see if I can go up. Do. There we go. We did that. Now if we go temp, there's a death bash. It's owned by death. And so now what we're going to do is update dreams. Set dream equal to what happens when you just do bash. Well, that I'll tell you why that won't work usually. Is because we're running in sudo. I see. We could do that. We'll do that in a sec. I'll tell you what. We'll do that in a sec. Let's just do it. Let's get a more stable way of privilege escalating. Okay, so we're gonna do temp death bash. Oh, whoops. That was the wrong thing to do. Now it's going to be all of it. Yeah, okay. Never mind. Delete from dreams where... Actually, I can just delete from dreams. Limit 4, I think, will be fine. Oh, I can't delete. Oh, well. Alright, let's do update dreams set dream equal to test. And then we'll do this again, but then where dreamer equals RCE. Oh. There we go. Okay, lovely. Alright, now if we run it again, and we do ls, we have this version. So now what we can do is temp slash death bash dash p, and if I do who am I, we're death. Alright, but let's exit out that. Let's see if we can do it that way. So I think what you're asking for, I think what we actually need to do here is do user bin bash dash p. This will probably work as well. Yeah. We're death now. Alright. So that would have worked as well. I just prefer having this. I think this is a really good method because it creates a nice file for us that we can just use again and again and again. But yes, we could have just done that. Technically, so we're still in this, we're still executing this sudo process here. But we do have a death shell now. So let's just go with it. What? We have nothing in our... Okay. Well, actually, that's just... Okay, yeah, that works, but it doesn't give us any output, I guess. Okay, let's try this again. I prefer my method. Alright, hang on. dd slash home slash death. There we go, that's a bit better. Alright, now we get the death flag. I probably need to do dash I or something stupid. Okay, this also has a bash history. But nothing really there. It does look like they know the root password, though, for MySQL, which is interesting. There was also, yeah, .mysql history. And nothing really there, then. Can we sudo? Probably not. Oh, we're still technically Lucien here, so we can't sudo as dev. Okay, so there is a Morpheus user. We have a few files here. What does restore do? Nope. So there's a kingdom backup. Wait, what? Interesting. I want to see what Death's in. Death's in their own group. Morpheus is in the Saviors group. Oh, you know what I can do now, actually? I can CD into... I can actually get... I can get the password out of Get Dreams now. So this is Death's password. So this might be the same password they use for... Okay, hang on a minute. Let's try this password as Death's password on this box here. There we go. All right.
We are in.
So that's a little better. Now we have. Oops. Now we have. We can just copy this over here. So we had Death's password over here, which means can we run sudo-l again? Okay, Death may not run sudo. Can we just switch to Morpheus? Is it Morpheus like that? All right, what happens if we just... Let's just have a look and see if Death can access anything else interesting in here. Show databases. Use library. No. All right, so... We can't get the bash history. Okay, restore.py. So it copies the kingdom file into kingdom backup. Well, it runs backup. Okay, so from... Oh, I wonder if we can just overwrite this. I think what we need to do this. Let's see if there's anything running like a cron tab. There probably is. Actually, what we can do firstly is double check with ls-l. Y28. I guess not. All right, let's just do yeah, let's just download from the PSpy. All right. So what we'll do is, can I actually? No, I can't. SW get HTTP 10, 13, 10, 13, 53, 212, peace by 64. Oh, apologies. Alright, Shamad plus X. Hey, Solo! Thank you, Enterprise. Did you get my message? I fixed it. I fixed your access so you can chat. Turned out I just had to set... I found a setting that let VIPs chat without having to confirm their accounts. So now I know how to fix that in future. If anyone can't talk, I can just give them VIP access. Which works. Alright. Shamad, Peace Spy. Then we'll just do Peace Spy and see what happens. I'm imagining that this backup process is going to run every minute or so. Okay, have we got anything useful going on here? So the cron did start. And we have these two processes by UID 1002. And I think 1002 is Morpheus. Because it looks like I'm 1001, Dream. 1000 was Lucien. Here. So it does appear like Morpheus is running something. Can we double check that? If we can, we can go to Etsy password. Yes, Morpheus is 1002. There we go, okay. That's a bit better. Okay. So Morpheus does run this. It runs using this specifically. Right. So imports copy 2 as backup. Well, let's have a look at this copy 2. So follow symlength is true. Okay. What's in Kingdom? Oh. So my thoughts are, yeah, we're going for Privesk. So my initial thoughts are it's some kind of like a hijack of the library. For example, if we were to create a file called shutil.py in the directory where this command is being run, then we could just create the copy2 command as a function. Did I do sudo? Yeah, I did. We can't sudo. So now my question is, can I go back to, can pspy like output the directory that it's in? So like, can pspy output current directory of command? Find out current working directory. Yeah. Let's do file system events as well. Let's just do this as well. Dash F. Jesus Christ. Because what I'm wondering, right, is whether we like, what if this is being executed from a directory we have write access to? But I don't know if this will tell us. All right, yeah, so here's... I guess technically that's the cron, so it's probably going to execute it in the user's directory, isn't it? Yeah. We can't touch anything. No, shit. Touch. Morpheus test. No. This is interesting. I guess let's grab limpies and see if we've missed anything. Oh shit. Oh, I can't even type today. Limpies. When in doubt, run limpies. If nothing is obvious, always run limpies -q. Type it into T, limpies.txt. There might be something we're missing. There might be something. All right. We've got
Thank you for following.
Amazon EC2 credentials. That's always fun. All right, I'm assuming it's not gonna be. It's not. I mean, yeah, it's not gonna be something stupid like a reverse like that. Okay. Nothing interesting running there. Okay, hang on, let's get auto scroll down. I seem to make sure I double checked everything. Okay, we're here. All right, I don't see anything. Only the Savior's file can even get into Kingdom backup. So basically what this means, so we have read permissions over this directory, but we don't have execute, which means we can read the files, we can read the list of files that are in it, but we can't actually go in and get any information out. Which is why if I do ls-l, right, it says permission denied, but it still gives me the file. All right. So I can't read anything interesting about this. I could probably use Vim to do the same thing. I guess not. You can read EM. Unquoted path. You talking about in the Morpheus directory? You can read them. We can't read the file. We know what the file is because it's here. So that basically what's happening is every minute this restore thing is happening. So what this does is restore is being run. It imports this copy to as backup, and then it runs backup. But we don't have any ownership over this file, as far as I'm aware. Because Morpheus is the one who owns his home directory. We can't got any right access to that. We can't edit the restore.py file. And I assume it's being run from... I mean, I guess we could try and locate... Okay, no. Find name. Should have done that. To dev null. Is Morpheus the only one in the Morpheus group? We can have another look at that. I think so. Yeah, so doing some of the imported library was my initial thought. Group. Yeah, Morpheus is the only. Oh, hang on. Groups death. Okay, yeah, so Morpheus is in the Morpheus group and he's in the Saviors group. Print the groups a user is in. Yeah, and if you cat Etsy groups, you get the list of groups and all their users. Right, so Lucien is in the ADM group, also in CD-ROM, also in DIP. Morpheus is in the Saviors group. You can't change the path? No, because I can't edit the file. What I want to see, though, is if this file's writable. Maybe this file's writable for some reason. Oh, shit. Well, that doesn't work. Oh, it is. There we go. This file is right. This file is writable by my user. It had to be something, didn't it? God. All right. I mean, that was like literally the only thing it could have been at that point. I don't know what it would have been otherwise. All right, what we're going to do actually is so we're going to be careful. We're going to copy this file, 3.8. What is that file? So this, hang on, let me get to it. We're going to copy it to death. And we're going to call it shatiloridge.py. Okay, so let's cat that restore.py. So when you run Python and you do an import, right? So in this case, you can do imports in one of two ways, right? You can do an import like import, I don't know, let's just say request, right? The request library. So you can do import requests, at which point Python will say, okay, I need to find the request library. And it has various ways of doing that, but generally speaking, it'll have a it'll look in the current directory for a file called request.py first. If it doesn't find that, it will look in other locations where it installs library files. All right. Now that's for external stuff. So if request was built in, that would be in user lib Python and then whatever the Python version and then the file, right? There's another way you can do it, which is you can do from requests, because import request imports the entire requests library. If you only want specific features out of that library, you can do from requests import, and then this would basically be a function name, all right, or a module name or something, right? So basically, if you only really want a certain thing from the request library, you can just import that. All right, you see this a lot in like Flask applications, demo code or something. Let's see if there's a better one. Here we go. Right. So you could technically import Flask, right? Like the entire Flask thing, but you don't really want to do that because Flask is huge. So what usually you do is you say from Flask import. Well, you want to import the main Flask sort of thing. Then if you want to handle redirects, you need to import the redirect function. You need to import the URL for function. You need to import requests. All right. So all this is doing is saying, hey, instead of importing the entire Flask library itself, can you just import these 4 things? And then you use them here. So request is here, redirect is here, URL4 is here, right? Very, very simple. So in this, basically we're importing copy2 as backup. So now if I go back to the death thing, all right, now let's copy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the Shutil orig. So we got a ridge just in case we need to back it up. And now if we open this up, let's find the copy2 function. Here's copy2. All right, cool. So we can just edit this function now. All right. So we can edit this function to do anything we realistically want. We could actually, we could just get it to give us a shell, right? And actually, yeah, we have OS imported, so all we need to do, copy2. Hang on. We could just do os dot. Is it os.system? It is, isn't it? Right, so os.system, we want to copy bin bash to temp Morpheus bash. And then we want to do chmod plus xs temp Morpheus bash. Okay, so what that should do is it just copy bin bash the Morpheus bash, and then it's going to make it set UID. I think, right? os.system is right. os.system. System. I think it is. Anyway, let's copy Shutil over the top of user lib Python 3.8 Shutil. Perfect. And now what we need to do is just wait. Well, I may have just missed it. I may have been lucky. I was lucky. I copied it just in time. Three seconds, see? So now if I do temp, so you see this Morpheus file, this is technically bash. It's owned by Morpheus. It's set UID. So now I can just do Morpheus bash -p and go who am I? And we are indeed Morpheus. So if I cd into the home directory of Morpheus, we can count the Morpheus flag. Lovely. And we get the last
Thank you for
flag.
following.
Perfect. Oh, that was a nice and easy one. So the question, I guess, is did this actually did this come up in the initial config? It must have done. There must have been a section I just completely missed where it was like files that you own that you shouldn't usually own. Alright. I'm just going to scroll down until I see. It should definitely be a red section. There's actually a whole section on files.
Thank you
There
for
you go.
following.
Files with interesting permissions should be it. Owned by me or writable by everyone. Okay. Yeah, there it was. So I could have got there. There it was, chat. But we got there by reasoning. We used our brains. We were like, well, there isn't anything else we can do. We knew we couldn't edit the file it was copying. We couldn't edit the file it was copying to, right? We couldn't edit the edit script itself. So we couldn't create files in the directory where the Python script was being executed. So we couldn't do a hijack. So logically, this was the only thing that made sense, right? There was nothing wrong. If this file hadn't been like this, there was nothing wrong with the script that was running. It was a kind of dumb script to run in the first place because you don't need to do that in Python. You could just do a bash script, right? And just use copy. But yeah, that was the only thing that made sense at the end. And then when we checked it, it was like, oh yeah, okay, fair enough. Any questions about that, chat? I kind of prefer the fact that we basically reasoned to the solution. Can you show the part how you edit the copy function? Yeah, so basically we had this Morpheus has this restore.py file in his directory. So we weren't Morpheus, right? We weren't Morpheus. We had to get to the Morpheus. And Morpheus copies from the, I don't know, shutil, I guess, shutil, your shutil library. Imports the copy2 function as backup. That you could ignore this. Honestly, this is more confusing than anything. So we'll talk through this line actually, because this is probably important. So when you do this, right, what you're telling Python is, hey Python, how you doing? Please open the shutil.py library. Please grab me the copy2 function. Please call it backup. All right. So that's what the Python thing does, all right? So this line basically in your script now, you've basically told Python, hey, I want the copy2 function from this library, but I want to call it backup. All right, you can do this. You can alias stuff in Python. All right, this is basically all this is an alias, and that's why you don't see copy2 anywhere else. You just see the word backup. But when you see backup, all that means is, hey, oh, look, I defined backup as copy2. So backup is literally just running copy2. Python just lets you alias it. The reason you have aliases is actually really clever. Because in Python, obviously you have multiple libraries. And libraries may have similarly named functions. Okay? So there might be a copy2 function in another library. All right? It's actually relatively common, if you think about it. There are hundreds of libraries in Python. The chances that they all have differently named functions is pretty slim. So what happens when you want to import a function from two different libraries, right? But it's the same function. How do you, like, what? You can't do that if you just want to import the function. So that's why you have aliases. And so that basically means if there are two, like if we had a situation, right, where we wanted to import copy2 from this, and then we wanted from, I don't know, Tiberius, there's like, let's just imagine there's a Tiberius library that I have a copy2 function. Okay, I'm not actually sure what happens in this instance. It might be that copy2 overwrites this one. It might be that Python complains. I actually have no idea. But the point is, what we can do in this line, we can say as hula copy2, all right? And then we're basically, if we want to use shutil's copy2, we can just run copy2. right? But if we want to use copy 2 from Tiberius, we just run cooler copy 2, obviously, because it's cooler. Okay? That's why aliases exist. All right, so we realized from this that basically this script is pretty damn secure. It's defined the strings properly. All right. It's using the backup function reasonably. It's absolutely fine. We cannot write to this. We cannot modify this in any way. We can't do anything with this either. This is all fine. So we cannot even write to the home directory of Morpheus. So we couldn't. One of the things we could have done is create our own shutil file in the home directory of Morpheus and done like a basically a library hijacking. Almost like a DLL hijack, right? So the only thing that made sense at that point was, okay, well, let's look at the actual shutil library, which happened to be in, what was it? User lib Python 3.8/shutil. All right, so this, when this line gets executed from shutil, this is the library that gets loaded. And it just so happened, so usually this file is just owned by root, and the group is root. In this case, the group is death, which happens to be the user that we were logged in as. All right, and group has write access. And so all we had to do was go user lib Python 3.8 shutil and find the copy2 function. All right, so again, libraries are pretty simple in Python. So you can create a library that, you know, if you just have a function, it doesn't even have to be a function technically, right? This, usually when you do import and then like this is usually some kind of function. But it doesn't have to be a function. It could be anything in Python, realistically. This could be just a variable, all right? This could be an object. So if you look at GitHub Tiberius auto recon, I think it's auto recon main. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so look at this line, right? Look at this line 15. From autorecon.config, import config, configurable keys, and configurable Boolean keys. Okay, what's autorecon.config? Well, autorecon. I go back to this. The autorecon it refers to is this directory here. All right, so this is a directory structure. So this autorecon here is the package name, which package is a directory. All right, so this is the autorecon package. Okay, config. Let's look in the okay. There's a config.py, so it's this. The config.py, and then what have we got? We want to import config, configurable keys, and configurable Boolean keys. Okay, well, what's config? Config is this. Oh, look, it's a dictionary. That's all it is. It's just a dictionary.
Thank you for following.
What's configurable keys? It's just a list. And what's configurable Boolean keys? It's also just a list. So, literally, you can import anything. Right? So, this Slugify is a function. I think all of these are functions, actually. All of these are functions. Oh, sorry, actually, no. This is an object. This is a class, I guess. It's technically a class, right? So, this is a class. These, I believe, are all functions. This is a dictionary, and these are lists. All right, you can import anything. It doesn't matter. So, all we need to do, right, is figure out what copy2 was, and you know, if you're in Vim, so we've opened it up. If you just do /copy2, it's going to figure it out. It's going to find it. So I think initially it found it here, but obviously this is a string, so it's not it. You know, that's a string in a variable, right? That's not going to be anything. Oh, look. Define copy2. So copy2 is a function, which is great because then we can just add code to our function, right? We can add os.system, you know, and just execute any code. This is still going to get executed, but first it's going to execute our system code. Is there a way to import the exact library? Yeah, I believe so. Generally speaking, you don't want to do that though. You want to assume that you just want to protect your environment really. But there are ways to this is why like you can like define Python path before you execute anything, I think. So yeah, you can do that. I don't know how, but I know you can. All right, any questions? Any more questions, I should say? All right, let me have a look at this. Was that a thing you want me to do? It was a CTF challenge. Somebody mentioned it, and I can't remember what it was now. It was a Nahamsec CTF challenge. Da Vinci Code. All right, let me look up Da Vinci Code. Oh, that's not it. Oh, it's medium. All right, maybe we can do this. All right. Somebody asked, could you explain the final payload using SUID and Bash? Yes. So basically, we know that this os.system is going to get executed as Morpheus, right? Because Morpheus is the one that's running the Python file. So what I generally do is, if I ever know that I have a user running code, right, running commands as that user, you could do many different ways of privilege escalation. You could technically run just a full reverse shell here. All right, there's nothing stopping you generating reverse shell code and just putting it here and getting the user to run it. That's fine. I don't generally like doing that. I like creating persistence. So this is a persistence method. So what I'm doing is I'm copying bin bash, which is obviously just bash, into the temp directory and calling it Morpheus-bash, right? So sometimes I name this root bash, but in this case it's Morpheus bash because Morpheus is the user that this code is going to run as. And then I just chmod it. Technically you don't need the X, that just makes it executable. It's already executable, but I always like adding it anyway. The S makes it SUID, all right? Which means that when this Morpheus bash file is run, because it's an SUID file, it is going to run as the permissions of the file owner. And who created the file? Well, we've copied it. So the person who owns the file is the person who ran the copy command. Okay? And so, if we then just go into /temp, we can see Morpheus owns the file, which makes sense. All right? And it is SUID. Now, let's exit out of this. If you just run Morpheus-bash, right? We're currently the death user. If you just run this and do who am I, we're still death. All right? And that's because Bash doesn't really like being SUID. Bash thinks being SUID is a bit silly. And it is. It really is silly. There is no reason for Bash to be SUID. So what Bash does by default, if it detects it's being run as SUID, which is easy because all you do is you check whether your real ID is the same as your effective ID, right? And if it's not, that means you're running as a elevated user, right? Let me actually show you how that works. Let's if I do ID here, you'll note that this here is my real ID, right? Which is still death. Okay, my real ID is still death, even though my effective ID is Morpheus. All right. Now, luckily in Linux, most things use your effective ID, and that's the kind of the point of the effective ID. It's a temporary ID which you use when you sudo, for example. When you do sudo, you have an effective ID that's the user you're sudoing as. So anyway, yeah, Bash basically will run a thing which says, hey, I'm going to check my EUID, my effective ID, and my UID. And if they're the same, that's great. If they're not the same, I'm going to downgrade back to the UID, the real UID. Okay, and it does this by default. And so all you have to do is you have to tell it, hey, I don't want you to do that, right? So bash by default, if I run ID, oh, I'm back to death, right? I'm back to UID 1001. All right. But if you run it with -P, it ignores that check. And now if I do ID, we're back to Morpheus. All right. And you can technically, I think if you do man bash -P, here we go, yeah. If the shell is started with the effective user ID not equal to the real, it's basically just exactly what I said. And the P option is not supplied, no startup files are read, shell functions not inherited from the environment, blah, 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 are ignored, and the effective user ID is set to the real user ID. I basically just said all of this, right? But this is, here it is, fully in this lovely paragraph. If the P option is supplied, invocation, the startup behavior is the same, but the effective user ID is not reset. Okay? So it's a pretty neat way of overriding that downgrade. Okay. Will your Naham talk go live on your channel? I think Nahamsek's going to upload it. Actually, I think it's technically already uploaded because it wasn't a talk. It was a workshop. Let me just see. Hang on. Yeah, the workshops are all here. Let me post it in chat. But if you go to Nahamsek's YouTube channel and click the live tab, all the workshops are there. So yeah, the workshops were different to the talks. Luckily, he's also put if you go to the description, there are links, there are timestamps to all the workshops. So mine's at 4 hours and 21 minutes. So it's been there since it was streamed. They haven't taken it down. So yeah, if you want to have a look at that, do that. ATO, how are you? When will be getting new interview questions? I don't know, man. Whenever I come up with some. That's the main issue, right? I've got so many goddamn interview questions now. Like, coming up with them is legitimately difficult because there's like 60-something of them.
Thank you for following.
Yeah, there's like 61. Which is quite a lot. Idiot, just Nahamsek's Twitch. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like Nahamsek streams to multiple platforms, like I do. So I obviously stream to 4. Twitch, you can see my VODs on Twitch for like 2 months after. But I also stream to YouTube, and the YouTube VODs are saved indefinitely. So honestly, if you ever want to rewatch a stream, the best place for it is probably YouTube, because the VODs are always going to be there. Whereas the VODs are taken down on Twitch automatically after 2 months. All right, that's true for anyone basically. All right. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Da Vinci Code. All right, let's start it. Hopefully the challenges aren't going to be taken down while I'm doing this. All right, so this is the Da Vinci Code. It's by John Hammond. And it says, somebody made a Da Vinci Code fan page, but they spelt it wrong, and it looks like the website seems broken. And that's it. We don't get any source code. We just get a website. Which I guess is not technically up. I should probably disconnect from the VPN. There's still a scan running. Okay, we're gonna kill this. We're gonna kill all of this crap. Alright. Interesting. I don't know if it just is taking a while. We'll leave it a few minutes. I tell you what we'll do. We'll do another marble race. Unless you highlight them, then they're permanent. Yeah, I don't know. It feels wrong to highlight the entire thing. It's not a highlight then, is it? Alright, we're going to do a marble race. Where's my marble race? Alright, this is unfortunately for everyone on... I say unfortunately. This is unfortunately only for people who are watching on Twitch. As I say often, Twitch is the best place to view my streams. Alright, so you can view my streams on 4 platforms. You can view them on YouTube, you can view them on Twitter, you can view them on LinkedIn, if you're on LinkedIn, and you can view them on Twitch. Now, Twitch is built for streaming. In my opinion, it's the best streaming platform. You get channel points for watching, which are basically just free. They're free points. Every minute you watch, you get channel points. And you can accumulate these channel points and buy redemptions, some of which are quite fun. I don't think there's anything like it on any other streaming platform. You can also join raids. There are no ads now. All right, there might be like a minute ad or like a half-minute ad at the beginning of the stream, when you initially join. But I've turned off all ads throughout the stream, so there are no longer any ads on Twitch. All right. However, that being said, if you want access to certain emotes, like special custom emotes, you can still subscribe. You can use your Prime sub. If you have Twitch Prime, which is basically if you are a Amazon Prime customer and you link your Twitch account to your Amazon Prime account, then every single month you get given a free subscription to use against any streamer that you want. Caveat is you have to always renew it every month, right? It's not automatic. So basically that means, you know, a month later, that Prime sub is not going to go back to the person that you initially gave it to. You have to go in and you have to reassign it manually, right? But if you do have Prime, it's basically it's $2.50 that you can give to any streamer that you want on Twitch every month. All right, you don't have to give it to me. Obviously, if you do give it to me, that's awesome. But if you do have a Prime account and you are active on Twitch, you should link it, because that's just basically taking money out of Jeff Bezos's pocket and giving it to a streamer that you really like. All right, and you also get all the perks of a subscription, which is usually $5 a month. So, with that said, this race is only for Twitch people. Unfortunately, it's just the realistic nature of the game. This game only supports Twitch. I'm still going to keep streaming on multiple platforms. I think it's really cool. I like that I have people in chat from Twitter. I like the, you know, yeah, I think it's really good. The way it's working so far. So I'm going to continue doing it because I think it brings more viewers to the stream who wouldn't ordinarily be on Twitch. However, I am going to try and convert people to Twitch. Do you use a single program to watch all the chats? Yes, I use Restream's program. So basically, there are a few ways you can do multiple streaming. You can actually, in like OBS, you can basically connect to multiple sites at once. The issue with that is that would basically mean that my stream is being sent 4 different times in 4 separate sort of streams to those sites, which is going to honestly probably play havoc with my internet connection, even though I have a really good internet connection. That just seems like a really bad idea. So what I do is I use a service called Restream, which does cost a bit. But I just stream one stream to Restream servers, and then Restream basically forwards that on to all 4 servers. So I'm kind of just using Restream as a middleman. However, they also provide me with an app that connects to all the chats. And so actually on screen, if you look above me right now, the chat there is literally every single platform's chat that I'm streaming to. So you'll see messages there from Twitch people, you'll see messages there from YouTube, from LinkedIn, from Twitter. They all get sent there. My god, this is a slow, very slow rotating circle thing. But yeah, I have it on my, I have it up here, so I have an Elgato prompter. So my webcam is basically there with a teleprompter on it, and the teleprompter is actually displaying the chat right now as well. Oh my goodness, I'm first, chat. We know what that means. Chat, what's going to happen if I win? Oh, am I going to win? Am I going to win? Or is Digital Pickaxe going to beat me? Chat. I just won. Who knows what happens when I win marbles, chat? Who's going to say it? Well, firstly, obviously we have to play this.
It was rigged. I don't give a shit about your opinion. Get fucked.
Firstly, clearly it was rigged, right? I won. What else happens when I win? Aimbots for the win. Exactly. I have coded an aimbot.
Prime.
There we go. With a Prime sub. Who subscribed? Thank you, Icy Lollipops, for subscribing with Prime. Alright, nobody has it. Yeah, we do a give up. There we go. Wonnie got it. We have a
Thank
giveaway.
you for
Instant giveaway. Instant marble race again. Look at this. Alright, let's find a map. Let's do this one. Actually, did we just do... I feel like we just did that one. Let's do one with a... Okay, we're going to go cool track. Oh, it's 5 minutes. Hang on. That's a 5-minute race. No. Wait. How do I exit? We're not going to do a 5-minute race. Alright, hang on. Let's sort by average time. Let's get one that's about a minute long. Alright, here we go. We're into the minute area. Let's get one with a... There we go. Spiraling Spinning Shenanigans. Alright, so the winner of this race is going to get a voucher to either Try Hackney, Hackbox, or Pentester Labs. Again, if you're on Twitch, you can press, you can type !play. Join the marble race / giveaway. !play, chat. Okay, well, this is an interesting one. Strange. Alright, well, we're going to see how this goes. This, though, does have a hole. But we can ask the question, who is going to find the hole first? Estimation point play, you've got 26 seconds left. There is a slight delay, though, so when you see like 5 seconds, you should probably be typing exclamation point play. I don't actually know the delay on the stream, but I figure it's 5 seconds is probably a decent amount. All right. Let's see. Who is going to find the hole? We have a few contenders. Icy Lollipops is doing pretty good. Definitely out in front. Are they low enough, though? Oh, I think they are. Is Icy Lollipops going to find the hole first? Yes, they do! Alright, Icy Lollipops, followed closely by Ant Chips and Sponge, and nobody else. This might be a takeaway for the literally subscribed with Prime a minute ago. Can Icy Lollipops win this race? Oh, a lot of people dying though. Now, I don't know what actually happens with this thing here. Oh, I think they might have it. And they do! Icy Lollipops for the win. New time. Prime subscriber. Ali raid? Is Ali gonna raid? Did you preempt the raid? I have no idea. Okay. Icy Lollipop, well done. What voucher do you want? Do you want a try Hack Me, Hack the Box, Pentester Labs? I need to buy more Hack the Box. I'll get Hack the Box this week. Try Hack Me would be fantastic. All right then, let's do that. Let's copy your username so I have it in my little listy here. 1 month, try Hack Me. Excellent. I'll get that to you. Alright. Let's go back. And hang on a minute. Alright, let's see if this site is actually loaded. It has not. Is everything down? Alright, I'm going to stop the box and start it again. It lets me start it. So, it's letting me start it, but it's not letting me access it. So it's generating a URL. It's basically generating this URL, actually. Hang on. Yeah. Nope, not that URL. Wait. It's generating this URL here. Copy link. Failed to connect. I don't think it's actually... I think the CTF, because the CTF has ended, I know there's usually a grace period where they keep the challenges up, and it looks like the challenges are still technically up, but if you click start, they don't actually spawn anything. I mean, well, they spawn something, but they don't actually let you connect. So I'm not sure what we do here. Unless it's is it HTTPS? No. Is OCP still worth it for those who can afford it? Probably. It's tricky. It's still looked for in jobs, pen testing jobs. There are ways to get into pen testing without the OCP, but they're so rare now. I feel like I don't know. It's the harsh reality. It's still probably the way in, which is the reason it's only still around, you know. Yeah, I don't think it's here. I wonder if Hacking Hub has got any of them. Challenges. Yeah, I don't think it has. Do you have a preference on a cert specifically for web app pen testing? I would say that the Portswigger cert is pretty good. So BSCP is pretty damn good. It's hard though. Like, this is not a beginner level cert. This is an advanced cert. From my observation, every single researcher actually is more competent and has OSCP. I don't want it for a job per se, but to be on my way to same skill level as those I refer to. If you're just after for skills, then no, go with TCM security. TCM security actually teach like that's the thing. That's the nice thing about the subscription model at TCM is it's relatively cheap and you have access to everything. Where can we find a list of plugins you use for Obsidian? I think the only plugin I have is the Escalating one. So what you do is you go community plugins. There. I just have Escalating. So I was going to actually say browse. Is there a PDF? Export your notes to PDF. Here you go. This one might do. Honestly, I don't use Obsidian for much beyond note taking. So I use Obsidian in my usual everyday note taking stuff. I guess let me show you what I do. So let's yeah, okay. Let's just pretend right, so what I usually have is I have a file called general, right? So in my notes directory, let's call it general 2 for now because I already have it, but I have a file called general 2. What I usually do here is I put scope information. All right, so I usually have a setting for scope, and that's going to be, right, the URLs that are in scope. So example.com is in scope, all right, and they might have told me, oh, we have api.example.com as well. All right. And this also is me. I'll also have notes like don't touch https example.com/admin or something, right? So I have scope information here. Basically, hey, what is in scope, what isn't in scope. All right. Then I have creds. All right. So I have my admin user, who might just be admin with password 123 or something. And I might have a manager user, and that's going to be, I don't know, staff with, I don't know, password 1. Right? So I have general information about the application itself. What I then do is I create a directory called findings. And this is where most of my work goes. If I find a new XSS, right? Right? So if I find a cross-site scripting vulnerability, I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to, like, I usually separate them out. So I'll let's say I find a reflected XSS in like /search term equals, right? Something like that. So I might do this. I'll have like the URL, so it's going to be https example.com.
Thank you for
search term equals, and then whatever the payload is, right? So I'll have that. I might have actually I definitely will have the HTTP request here. So I say, okay, here's the HTTP request, right? If it's not obvious from there where it is, I might be like, you know, payload. So I might have a payload example. So instead of putting it in the URL, I'll say, okay, here's the payload that I need. All right. Yeah, various things you can go here. So you would surround this by like backticks. Then I can drag and drop images in here. All right, so if I have any screenshots, I'll take the screenshot, I'll annotate it, and I'll drag it in here. And the screenshots generally get saved as a separate file. But then I'll store all the XSS. So let's say I found like another XSS later on, right? And this is a stored XSS or something. And we'll just say like admin users view. And I might be like, okay, so I might do steps, right, as well. So I might be like register a user with like first name / or second name as script, right? And then number 2, log in as admin, browse to /users, right? And then note that XSS payload is executed or something. All right, these are just general notes. So I try and keep shit brief. All right, so I'll obviously have the So with a stored XSS, I usually store two things. I store the initial way of getting the store, because stored XSS is twofold. It's obviously there's an endpoint where you're storing it, and then there's an endpoint where you're recovering it, right? So I'll usually include like where the payload gets input, so it might be on the register page, for example, and I'll be like, okay, so the payload is whatever, and I'll put parameters is first name, last name, or something, right? And then we have the request again, just to show how it was done, and then I can say, okay, so this is technically the source. I usually refer to it as the source, and then the sink. So the source is where the malicious payload comes from, and the sink is where the malicious payload is output. All right, and so this might be http example.com/admin/users or something. All right, and obviously we're ignoring the fact that here I said don't touch admin, right? I'm just giving an example. Obviously, I put don't touch admin here, and I'm touching admin, so yeah, I'm just saying, right? So, and then we'll have screenshots and everything, and requests to show the pop-up window, exactly. Hacking time. I was building an auth login with a pop-up window, and it drove me nuts. Yeah, that sounds like it would. Alright, I think everything's down on the HarmCon then. Yeah, I didn't do... So we did solve DaVinci Code. The team did. I didn't. I came in, like I said, I came in late and basically blasted through the mission. So I think I got like almost 2,000 points from the mission. Does the Portswig cert teach? So the Portswig cert is a cert. It's not a course. So that's the thing. There's a difference between a cert and a course, and sometimes they're the same thing, right? So sometimes a course comes with a cert, right? So OSCP is a course that comes with a cert at the end. All right. The PNPT from TCM is a course that comes with a cert. Okay. Although I think you can actually technically take the course without the cert.
Thank you for following.
Thank you for following on YouTube. But there is a difference. Sometimes you'll just have a cert. Sometimes you'll have a course that comes with a cert. Okay. So the Portswig cert doesn't technically have a course. What it does have is the labs. Right. So it doesn't have a course, but it has free learning paths and practice labs, right? So everything you need to pass the cert is technically here for free, which is really cool, right? But still, it's not really it's not really a course. There's a lot of useful information here, but it's not like a course. On the other hand, the lab, the cert, sorry, the actual cert is like $100, which is not that much for a cert. To be fair, it's pretty decent actually. It's one of the cheapest certs available. What are we gonna do now, chat? What do we want to do? Is there anything else on try-hacking we can mess with here? Hmm. Check out the medium rooms, I guess. Oh, this is okay. That looks like IR stuff. Client side code. You have to have Burp Suite Pro to take it. I think it's technically doable without, but I think they recommend Burp Suite Pro. But again, it is more aimed at people with people who are already pen testers. Like, I wouldn't expect anyone who wasn't working as a pen tester to take it. So you probably already have a Burp Suite Pro license anyway from your work. Kitty was that SQL one, wasn't it? There's an SQL injection, but you had to do it manually or something. Oh god, 300 minutes, jeez. 300 minutes is what, 5 hours? And it's a medium? Damn. Yeah, this one's too long. I read this one was like they tried to make it so you couldn't solve it with SQL map or something. I feel like you probably could. It's probably just a bit tricky, but we could also just find somebody to raid. It's only me and Trash Puppy technically streaming. Trash Puppy's been streaming for a while. I imagine she doesn't want to be raided right now. Kitty Burrito is online. We could also raid Arkham King again. He's playing Elden Ring. We raided him last week. That was fun. Maybe we'll do that again. Anyone have any questions before we go? I feel like this has been, like I said, it's going to be a chill stream anyway. But I feel like this was good. Is the best web app pen testing cert? Probably the Burp Suite one. Like honestly, I don't see another good one. All right. Are there any other questions before we leave? Go back to webcam. Hello. I liked this chill stream. It's been 2.5 hours ish, so we'll cut it short. Yeah, on Wednesday, depending on when, maybe I'll reach out to Adam at Hacking Hub and see when he thinks the challenges are going to be live on Hacking Hub, because I definitely want to walk through the mission with you guys, because that was really good. I really enjoyed the mission. My team hated it at first. They went down several rabbit holes before I arrived, and they were understandable rabbit holes. So, but once you get past the first bit, the rest of it kind of fell like dominoes until like stage 5. Stage 5 was tricky. But yeah, we managed to get to stage 5, and then it kind of like we honestly just ran out of time that night, and then the next day I had no fresh ideas. I think I know where we went wrong, but yeah, in the end we came 29th, which is still good. So 29th is pretty decent, I think. All right, any other questions before we go? Any other things people want to say before we raid our friend the Arkham King? Start the raid. All right. Well, I appreciate you all. I'll be streaming for Web Up Wednesday on Wednesday. I did an interview with Nahamsek. That will be on the YouTube channel probably at some point this week. And yeah, check out the talk I gave at NahamCon, or the workshop. It was really good. It was like 2 hours long, and we did a lot of SQL injection. It was really great. And obviously check out my my SQL injection cheat sheet. Thanks, IC Lollipops. Yeah, I'll get the vouchers to everybody this week as well. I'm in final thing with Hack the Box about the vouchers, so I need to do that. But awesome. All right, let me put the stream ending thing up just so we're all on the same page. Please follow me on Twitter, join my Discord server, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and obviously give me a follow on Twitch if you're not already following. And please say a big welcome, big hello from the stream to the Arkham King, who we discovered last week. He's playing gaming content, but unfortunately any other tech streamer seems to be trash puppy right now. So we're going to go watch him game for a bit. Alright, take care everybody, I will see you on Wednesday. Peace.